Australia is known for its beaches and wide open land, but hidden among the suburbs and countryside are houses people refuse to live in. Families moved in with dreams of a new life but left with fear. What happened inside these walls was so disturbing, many never returned. Tonight we explore 5 of the most haunted houses in Australia, and these stories are all based on true events. In Victoria, a young family moved into what looked like a normal suburban home. Bright rooms, a big backyard, it seemed perfect. But almost immediately things began to change. At night, the parents heard footsteps moving across the hallway, even though their children were asleep. The television would switch on at exactly 3 a.m., blaring static. One night, the father followed the sound of a woman crying. The noise led him to the living room. But when he entered, the crying stopped, and he saw a shadowy woman standing at the window. Terrified, the family researched the home's history. They learned a woman had died in that very room decades earlier. Unable to handle the fear, they moved out within months. To this day, neighbors say lights still flicker inside the empty house late at night. In rural Queensland, an old farmhouse was bought by a family looking for a peaceful life. But the children refused to sleep in their rooms, saying a tall man stood watching them from the corner. Objects moved on their own. Cups slid off tables. Doors slammed even when locked. One night, the mother woke to find a figure at the foot of her bed. The figure was tall, dark, and motionless. It vanished the moment she screamed. The family's fear grew worse each night. No matter what they did, the haunting continued. Research revealed the land's dark history. A farmer had taken his own life there years earlier. Locals say his restless spirit never left. The house was abandoned in the 1990s and still stands empty. At night, people say you can hear footsteps across the wooden floors. In South Australia, a young couple moved into a house in the 1970s. From day one, they felt uneasy. Doors opened and closed without warning. Lights flickered constantly. At night, footsteps echoed in the hallway. Their child often pointed to the ceiling, whispering, "He's up there." They tried to ignore it, but the events grew worse. One night, the father swore he saw a shadow move across the ceiling. After months of fear, the family abandoned the house. Since then, the house has never been lived in again. People passing by claim to see faces in the windows. In Western Australia, an old boarding house gained a dark reputation. Guests reported hearing whispers in their ear at night. Doors locked by themselves, trapping people inside. One guest woke at 2 a.m. to see a pale woman sitting at the edge of the bed. When he turned on the light, she was gone, but the bedsheet was still pressed down. Others claimed to feel cold hands touch them in the dark. Too many similar reports forced the boarding house to shut down. Today, it stands empty, but locals say strange noises still come from inside. In the 1990s, a family bought a farmhouse in New South Wales. At first, life seemed peaceful, but then the doors began slamming. Objects shifted from one room to another with no explanation. The father's most terrifying moment came one night. He woke to see a shadow figure standing silently at the end of his bed. Frozen in fear, he could only watch until the figure faded away. Later, the family learned the land had seen multiple deaths decades earlier. They abandoned the home within weeks. Today, locals claim to hear whispers calling their names inside the house. These houses are real. Families live through the terror, and some remain empty to this day.